Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. This is Mets Daniels and today we are going to be talking about menstrual cycle. We are going to be talking about fibroids. We are going to be talking about everything related to period pains and blood clots. Right, I'm gonna be sharing with you my experience with regards to all of those things because I've experienced them all. So the first thing I want to talk about is your period pain. So in this channel we discuss everything women and everything related to everyday life. So if you have not subscribed to the channel, please make sure that you subscribe and click the notification button so that you get notified whenever I get to post a video. If you did not get a notification when I posted this video, it means that even though you might have subscribed, but you have not ringed the bell, so therefore you do not get notified when I get to post a new video. So if you haven't done that, please make sure that you click the notification button. Village life. So sorry about that. So we are going to like I said, talk about everything related to menstrual cycle. I think I started experiencing blood clots the moment I started going on my periods, and you can imagine for I was like 13 or something. No, like 13 though. I started really young. I was around 11 and 12 when I started my periods, because I started like on an earlier age than normal kids. I started on when I was in grade 7, and I always had blood clots. Like I would be bathing and this huge blood clots would come out. And it was like traumatic. Imagine for like a young girl, you just start experiencing periods, and this sick. You have this horrible experience about it. So it was not a good start for me. I didn't know it was gonna be the beginning of an even more horrible hell that I was yet to face. So when I went through to high school, I started experiencing this severe period pains. I had this severe period pains that I remember, if I would start and I'm at school, I would start sweating and I would start shivering, and the distance from school to my home, it's not even 5 minutes, but I'll feel like I am walking for 50 kilometers. I'd feel like I've been walking for hours. I would walk and I would stop somewhere on a tree and I'll hold on to the tree and just let the pain in, and then I'll walk for a few minutes and think, you know what, let me do this walk so fast, and then I'll get somewhere and I'll just run out of energy and I'll stop, and then after stopping, it'll be the same process again, but it was so painful. I remember I'd get home and then I'll sleep on the bed, on the floor. I would take a walk and then I'll sit down, I'll go to the toilet and nothing would come out. I would come back, sleep on the bed, sleep on the floor, sit down and think about my life, and it was just hell. They were the most horrible period pains, and most of the time I'll just end up in the clinic because of the pain. I needed something to stop the pain. My vein, I don't know if we have like a lot of veins in the thighs, but I would feel this vein go through my thigh and my vaginal part and my stomach, like someone is pulling and saying, yes, suffer, that kind of thing. It was so horrible. I had the most severe period pains, and then I started to monitor my period pains. I started to monitor my periods to see what happens when I'm on my periods, to actually, in terms of my diet, because I realized that I vomit a lot when I'm having period pains, and immediately I vomit, I start to feel better. So I started to see what makes me vomit, because I saw most of the time inyongwa, I don't know what to call inyongwa, but the yellowish kind of vomit, yes, that's what came out. So immediately I'd vomit. I would sleep, but I'll sleep in the same position. You must make sure that you don't move, you don't wink, you don't breathe, you stay in that same position, and then the pain would be but the moment you blink or the moment you cough, the pain starts all over again and you have to find another position. So I started to just notice everything, find ways to work around the pain. So that is one of the most severe things that I would face, because the vomiting, it was really painful. And then I realized, okay, look, then it means I have to start monitoring what I eat when I'm almost at my periods. So I stopped changing, I stopped eating anything that's sweet, anything with a lot of salt. I made sure that I eat as clean as possible and drink tea, to make sure that by the time I'm on my periods, I don't have a lot of sugar in my body, because that will just, intensify the whole period pain process. So I made sure of that. And then after that whole thing, my parents disappeared. I don't know what happened. They disappeared. And I started experiencing these periods that just go on forever. They go on forever. I think the longest I've ever gone on my period was 3 months. I went on my period for 3 months. Like, people complain about 2 days of being on their periods. I went on my periods for 3 months, and not 3 months of spotting, no, 3 months of heavy periods. I remember this one day I was at work and the blood was coming out so much that I had to go home. I had to go home because every time I would feel the blood as it's about to gush out, and it came out in like big clots. I bled so much that my legs were white, they were pale, because of lack of blood. Like almost 3 months of bleeding and non-stop, and it was horrible. It was a horrible experience. And I remember one day I was at home, and when I was at home I started praying. I was like, God, I'm tired. Every time I go to that Indian shop, that Indian guy knows that I've come there to buy pads. He knows that I'm there to buy sanitary towels, and I'm tired of that. Lord, heal me. And the Lord saw me through and he healed me, and it stopped. Because I also go to the clinic and they'll give me the hormonal pills and I'll drink them, but then nothing would change until I did a pap smear. I've done a pap smear before, but I did it at the clinic. I did a pap smear at the clinic, and then they shoved that steel thing inside. It was not like painful because they use gel and stuff, but yeah, just imagine a steel penis looking a penis looking kind of machine going inside of your body. It's not painful, honestly. I don't want to lie. It's just too awkward having another woman inside this penis looking steel thing. It's weird and awkward, and okay. But it's good because it's good for your health, and it's gonna help protect you, and at least you get to know what is going on inside of your womb. So I did a pap smear, and then it came back negative, and I was so happy that I did not have any problems, and I did not have any complications. So it was like really wonderful. So after the whole thing, I started to feel better. Actually, after praying about it, I started to feel better, and I was just used to that. My periods just go on forever. Like I could go on my periods for like 2 weeks, like a week. Like, I don't know whenever I go on my periods when my periods are going to end. I just thank God when they come to an end. If they end after a week, I'm like, Jesus, thank you. If after 2 weeks, I'm like, Jesus, thank you. Sometimes a month, and I'm like, oh. So those are just some of the things that I actually go through, I actually face. And one thing that has really helped me when it comes to being on my periods has been this babies. These are the always night, excuse my nails, you guys, they're coming off, and I haven't had time to go and have them fixed. So these are the night by always. The inside of they look something like this. For those who have never used, it's this big. It's this big, and they have like wings on the side. They have wings, and then those wings are able to attach. One thing that I love about these pads, for me, that I've used them for so long, it's because no matter how heavy your flow is, the pad can be full from one end to the other end, but it will never leak. It will never leak. It will never embarrass you. You always be protected. And for someone who has the most heaviest flow ever, I would know what a good pad is and what a bad pad is. The thinner ones are comfortable for like sleeping and whatnot, but honestly, for me personally, I prefer this. They do magic for me, and no matter what happens, I know I can never have a leak, and because it's not nice having a leakage. I bought this, I think it's Sanex, and they also big, and they came in a big packet. I was desperate. I bought them by Makulin, and they leaked so bad, and now, and when a pad is not even full and it leaks like an hour later, it's just so annoying, but these babies have really pulled through for me. They've been my besties for every time I've been on my periods. So yeah, man, that's been my journey. So You know, I haven't really gone for checkup, but I think I should go and have myself checked up for fibroids, honestly. I was even thinking of trying the yoni creams, the yoni what, you know. Apparently it's weird for some people. What's your experience? Have you ever tried the yoni steaming? You know, have you ever, like, do you have this kind of a situation? What are your challenges in terms of periods, and what did you do about it? Did you see a doctor, a gyna, you know, or did you just take the yoni steaming? How did you get to deal with it? Or are you still dealing with it just now? Are you still fighting with this whole thing, or are you still suffering? In the words. You know, so what is your experience? Please do share with me, like, comment, and type your reply below so that I can get to know your guys' experience, to get to know what you guys do when you come across challenges with your periods, you know. And if it's very severe, especially if it's like severe pain, it's advisable for you to do things like go check for cancer and stuff, because it just gets so abnormal and it's so tiring. You just feel so tired. You going on your periods, it's tiring and exhausting as is. So imagine having gone on your periods for like a whole month, or like 2 months, or like even 2 weeks of heavy periods, wearing pads, bathing, everything all the time. It's just strenuous, you know. Yeah, so that's my experience. And if you've enjoyed this video, please do share it, and do give it a thumbs up. Okay. So thank you so much, you guys, for watching. I love y'all.